Community Hospital of San Bernardino has provided healthcare services to its community since 1910. With 343 licensed beds, 1,400 employees, a dedicated commitment from employees, medical staff, volunteers, and its board of directors, Community Hospital today admits approximately 13,000 patients each and every year, delivers more than 210 babies each month, and treats more than 44,000 each year in its emergency department. It all started when a highly qualified surgeon, Dr. Henry William Mills, arrived in the city of San Bernardino from his native London in 1903 after responding to an advertisement for a surgeon needed in San Bernardino. Shortly after his arrival, Dr. Mills noticed the need for a hospital with a top-quality surgery suite in the area. He partnered with his friend, attorney Ralph Swing, to purchase land at the corner of what is now 4th Street and Arrowhead. In 1910, they opened 42-bed Ramona Hospital, which quickly won the hearts of the community for its excellent care, compassionate staff, and, of all things, its outstanding food. After 17 years at Ramona Hospital, Dr. Mills' life was tragically cut short by a tooth infection that led to septicemia. He died in 1927 at the young age of 54. His colleague, Dr. Claude Lashley, succeeded him, but times were soon to change. When the Great Depression hit the community, the hospital was taken over by the bank and in danger of closing its doors forever. Dr. Lashley, along with 15 other doctors, a dentist, and a layman, quickly formed the Ramona Hospital Association. Their personal donations and fundraising enabled these aptly named guardian angels to buy the hospital back from the bank for the lofty sum of $40,014. The group proceeded then to add 23 surgical beds, turning it into a 65-bed facility. It did have its quirks. Patients had to be transported outside to enter the surgical suites, and labor and delivery was on the 2nd floor, and there was no elevator. Hospital staff arranged with the local ambulance company, and whenever a laboring mother-to-be needed to be transported upstairs, one tall and one short ambulance driver would arrive to assist. In 1938, Ramona Hospital Association reorganized into a non-profit corporation with a new name, San Bernardino Community Hospital. In 1943, the woman who would shape the course of history for Community Hospital was hired as an office manager. Virginia Henderson quickly worked her way up the corporate ladder to become hospital administrator by 1958. It should be noted, it was extremely unusual for a woman to head a non-religious hospital in those days. Catholic hospitals were commonly run by the nuns, but Community Hospital was not a Catholic hospital. Thanks to her sharp business sense and her warm personality, Virginia quickly earned the respect and cooperation of physicians as well as staff. In 1953, the Board of Directors of Community Hospital authorized the purchase of land for a new, larger hospital on the corner of 17th Street and Western Avenue. The administration secured loans for its construction, but not for its equipment. So, between 1956 and 1957, Community Hospital and St. Bernardine Medical Center joined forces to raise funds in the United Campaign for Hospital Beds. The campaign raised more than $2 million, a significant sum for that time. In April 1958, the hospital moved into its new location and opened with 133 beds, doubling in size.
Our move from the old hospital was rather unique in that I contacted all of the moving van companies, and I asked them if they would help move our patients out here. And then the morning of moving day, all of these vans pulled up on Arrowhead in front of the hospital, and we rolled many patients out in their beds and moved them in the vans.
The funds raised by the United Campaign for Hospital Beds would soon be supplemented thanks to another very significant person in the hospital's history. In 1954, entertainer Sammy Davis Jr. was critically injured in a car accident just north of the city of San Bernardino. He was taken to Community Hospital of San Bernardino. The late ophthalmologist Dr. Frederick Hull was on call that night, and his skilled hands are credited for providing excellent care to Sammy Davis Jr. The doctor and his famous patient soon became close friends.
After he was recovering, he said, we can put on a benefit show for you.
The show, which took place on November 15th, was a huge success, thanks in part to the strong ticket sales by the hospital's newly formed auxiliary.
My husband practiced medicine, was on the staff here, and when Virginia Henderson approached several of us to ask us what we thought about having a volunteer group, I was included in the group, and we thought it would be a great way to spread some service and a little bit of joy. And we were asked to approach 2 or 3 other women in our area that would maybe be interested in joining, so that in just a short time we had about 39 members, because the women were very receptive and eager to try it, and that's how it started.
Firmly established in its new location, the hospital enjoyed good times and continued to grow its reputation for excellence. Key to that was the wonderful feeling of family among those who served under its roof.
The nurses that we had aboard were wonderful. They all knew how we worked, and we worked together as a team. It was really a joy.
The 1960s and 70s saw tremendous growth for Community Hospital of San Bernardino. In 1961, 95 beds were added to the new facility. Soon thereafter, the hospital added a new laboratory, a new lobby, a 125-bed extended care facility, a physical therapy building, and more. In the 1980s, the hospital again found itself needing more beds to keep up with community growth. After considering and abandoning a move to the city of Rialto, the Community Hospital of San Bernardino Foundation conducted a fundraising campaign. The largest single donor, Monida B. Cummings, an heir to the Browning Rifle Estate, contributed more than $1 million. As a result, in 1989, the 5-story Monida B. Cummings Patient Tower opened, followed in 1996 with a new medical office building accessed by a bridge spanning Medical Center Drive. In 1998, the hospital affiliated with Catholic Healthcare West. Although Community Hospital remains non-denominational, the employees, medical staff, and volunteers embrace the mission of CHW to deliver compassionate, high-quality, affordable healthcare services and to partner with others in the community to improve the quality of life.
It's special to me because it's a part of this community. It's a big part of this community. And I was a part of this community for over 40 years. So it looks like a landmark. But this hospital means an awful lot to this area.
Today, Community Hospital of San Bernardino continues to enjoy a reputation for quality care in a family-like environment. It is served by a loyal and dedicated medical staff and workforce, and is known for the longevity of many on its staff.
I started at this hospital in the early 60s, and it's real funny the way I started here, because we just bought our first house over on 14th Street, and we needed some draperies, and we didn't have enough money to buy the draperies. So I came over here and trained, and I was going to work 6 weeks to buy the draperies. And I started 6 weeks, I worked. Then I decided we needed a car. So I worked for the car. We got a new Oldsmobile. Then we got through with that. We needed to go on vacation. And we just needed a whole bunch of things. And so I just stayed here for 33 years. And after I retired, then I started volunteering.
The hospital's vision for the future reflects the initial purpose of its founders: to continue to meet the healthcare needs of the community with dignity, collaboration, justice, stewardship, and excellence.